welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Let Us Reason Together Monday. Yeah, hey, it has been a while, hasn't it? It's been a crazy. I'm gonna have to say spring and summer because once our storm system season started in March, like March 14th, I will remember that day in forever because March 14th started out with like 80-mile-an-hour winds, and it created a whole bunch of work, and that work just piled up from one storm to the next storm to the next storm. I'm working on 9 different storms in my area as an independent adjuster. So that it's been keeping me busy. It's been a blessing, but it's also been extremely busy. In fact, we had a late season storm in August, and I'm working through a stack that just keeps going on. So it's been a blessing to have the work. But on the other side, I haven't been able to be with you. And so thank you for your patience. And I want to bring in my special co-host that I haven't been able to co-host with in a very, very, very long time. And that would be my great friend, Mark David Smith. Come on and join me.
I have to have my intro.
You do. Bob Dylan from the Saved album.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a blast while you were gone, man. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of people on and with me. We had different weeks. We had different people. And Larry Segari from Friday Let Us Reason Together was on with me for most of the shows. His wife came and joined with me, and we just had a little different format and what we did, and we had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad that y'all just jumped right in there and they were available and you were available to do it. And for all the great programming here on Lamb Network, I mean, when there's a gap, everybody feels it. And I sure appreciate you being able to do that, and even being able to step in today because Eddie and Tammy a little under the weather, and so praying for them, and y'all willing back next week with us. So we'll have that part of the crew together. So
very cool. Very, very good. Well, yeah. Sandi and I have not done a live what is it? What show do we do? The Planet Chapter for a long time, and Sandi's been quite busy with so many different things, and which I don't have to tell you about. And so we had talked about when we came back of doing a specific kind of show, but yet we weren't ever able to instigate it. Because we just didn't put this together, and both of us were taking a break. So when I did your show, I kind of brought my idea of what, I wanted to do for another show. And it was almost kind of a test launch. Of which I may put together later on in the week on a regular basis here sometime. So love it.
Nice. Yeah. We're looking forward to that as well.
Cool.
Well, you know how how we've been doing our format. I'm really not going to change it up because familiarity is comfortable, or comfortable, but it also allows us to do particular segments that we can cut out for later on programming. So yeah, I got some things I want to share. Things that we call them shower thoughts, but I've kind of made them more into like memes that give us thoughts, memes that are funny, things that can kind of lighten up the culture that we're living in. And we've had plenty of heaviness in our culture, so it's nice to kind of laugh at ourselves and laugh at circumstances or the absurdity of things, or however you want to look at it. But I think it also kind of helps us remember get some sanity and realign our thoughts when there's so much bad information out there. So I have some of those today. So calling those shower thoughts. Of course, we got the Torah portion later on, and then we're going to have the uncensored news, where we're going to talk about things that on some platforms we wouldn't be censored for, but on the CommuTube one, we would possibly get censored for. And we don't want to lose our Life of Worship Ministries YouTube channel. We did enough of that here on the Lamb Network that
I don't even know what they're censoring anymore. You know,
yeah. And you know what else they're doing on YouTube? They're actually using artificial intelligence to actually go in and change people's content.
Oh, is that what it is? Because
yeah.
I found that out this past about a week or two ago, in that I go, we have an old show that I like to replay, and we do a lot of those old shows. And I had a link to the YouTube channel, their YouTube channel, where I could just go get the ones that I wanted. Well, I got over there and they had changed everything, and I got a hold of them. They didn't change anything. And so that must be what it is AI has gone in there and changed it all up. Wow, it does. That answers that question. Thank you.
They're doing, some of them are very subtle edits.
Wow.
But so they might just like snip something out, or they might remove some words or something like that. But yeah, it's real time, it's live time. In fact, I mean, you can go on any YouTube video, you know this, Mark, but you can actually get a transcription of a video you're watching and watch the transcription play in front of you, just like, you have on your screen. And yeah, so AI can actually go in there, there's enough of a delay, and change it even real time.
Right.
So if you say the forbidden words,
Did you have a YouTube channel that they shut down? Completely shut
down? Life of Worship had a YouTube channel. We had our original one, and we had so much content on there, so many years of just.
Same here. The Lamb YouTube channel had just massive amounts of videos in it. And now that Trump is in office, and we know that all that was a bunch of crap that they did before, I would love to get hold of YouTube and say, give me my stinking videos back.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm taking up your time.
No, it's great but it's really true. I would love to have our old YouTube channel back because of the content. And so we've built up a lot now again, but we're, we self-censor, and we thought about, I mean, it's always in the back of my mind, finding another alternative platform to use. So, and we've had some people give some good suggestions, and we just, it's setting it up and going through all the, all the hoops.
Yeah.
Is just sometimes,
it's a lot.
There's a lot. And with the limited time that I have and Sandi has, it's just hard to do.
Yeah. But I'm 100% with you, man.
But nevertheless, we have some shower thoughts. You ready to jump in for some shower thoughts?
Yeah, you got it. You got the intro.
Got it. Good. I got the intro. Here we go. So that's such a serious picture of me on the shower thoughts. But shower thoughts. What are the shower thoughts? Those things that make you go, yeah, well, that nice warm water is showering on top of you. Okay. All right. So some people are like, I just got to get in and out because I got too much on my plate. But sometimes I like to just think. All right. Well, here's some things to think about. I was having a really hard time. I get so these are from Robert Malone, Dr. Robert Malone, and who's been very outspoken advocate of being healthy, shall we say. But he was also involved in the certain type of mRNA technology, and has said, it's really harmful for the body. And so he's been a very good advocate for those of us that want to stay healthy. And so I'm on a Substack, and he comes out with the Friday funnies, and he also comes out with the Sunday strips. And so I was like, I don't even know which one to choose from. There's so many good ones from either side. Sometimes I have to self-censor as we're going through it because I haven't gotten through all of them because he puts a lot up. But here's our first one for the day. This is, of course, President Trump, the magician, for my next trick, I'll make Democrats support the drug cartels.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
what?
All he has to do.
Everything
Yeah. All
that
he has to
President
do
Trump
is
does,
do one thing, and they're gonna
they're going
do
to do the
the
opposite. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so funny because they're taking up all these losing causes. I mean,
I
it's
know.
really true. All right. How about this one? Excuse me, sir. Have you accepted the state as your Lord and Savior?
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. I was trying to figure out what was that in the driveway back there, but I don't know. Let's go on to the next one. Here's this one's good. The future isn't lab grown; it's grass fed and family raised. From cowboyway.com. The future isn't. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what happened in the state of Texas. They made it illegal to have or to grow or to sell lab grown meat. Lab grown meat. Did you know that's a thing?
Yeah, I've heard it. I just didn't know that Texas did that.
Yeah, they just passed it this last week, and automatically Bill Gates and his, well, it's him along with Cargill. Cargill, do you know who Cargill is?
Yeah.
This is like the largest beef packing manufacturing plant or industry or company, a corporation out there. So he and Cargill and there might have been some others that are involved in this. They have joined together to sue the state of Texas because of the law that they passed that you can't sell lab grown meat in Texas, and they're growing lab. People don't even know this. You've got to be super careful because lab grown meat. What is it? They take some protein from the meat that they want to grow, and then they connect it with fast growing cancer cells from. It was a lady back in I think in the 70s. Anyways, she had a super she grew a cancer cell in her body like half her body weight and died. And they said this is supernatural. Or that's my term. It was growing so fast. After she died, the cancer cells kept growing. And so this is phenomenal. So they have kept those cancer cells around, and now they say, yeah, we can attach it to protein, whatever we want, salmon, chicken, cow, whatever, and put it in a vat, and we can make those protein cells from that particular animal grow, multiply,
Right.
and then with printing of the meat, they sell it. They're selling it.
Okay.
And so the state of Texas said, yeah, none of that. We're not going to do that. There's some other states that also pass laws against it. Bill Gates is suing. Why? Because he's highly invested in it, and so is Cargill.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know.
All right, here's the next one. Those farting cows are truly causing global warming.
Oh,
yeah,
hard to see because it's so dark. I see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Flying cows.
Yeah, flying.
So those flying farting cows are.
Yeah, are doing that.
Okay, I got you.
Across our skies and make the patterns. Yeah.
I'll play Sandy here for a second. Oh, John, you don't need to use that word. You could use other words. I've been with Sandy a lot on shows too, John. So
I just want to remind everybody in the past when Sandy's joined us on the show, I'll go, what do you think? Should I show this one? And she's like, no.
I know.
She would be my censor. Okay. I want to keep it clean, family oriented. Please don't be offended. We're just having fun here. Okay, here's one here. Dear God, give me a reason to get up early tomorrow to go to work. Here's your reason. You're poor.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. How to spot a meth lab.
Okay.
A high dollar car.
I see. Yeah, it's kind of dark, but I see.
High dollar high dollar car next to a meth lab.
Yeah,
All right.
right. I'm with you.
Okay. All right. Or a trailer, like a single
Yeah,
wide.
yeah, I get you.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Wait, hold up. I live in a single wide mobile home, and I have a Lexus sitting next to my mobile home. Do I have meth lab too?
Well, I don't.
You
If
know,
you're under suspicion, do you have any cars that just seem to park outside your property for a while?
no. Yeah, across the streets a lot of time. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. I had to clarify.
Right. Tinted windows.
Yeah, yeah,
They just kind of
yeah.
hang out there for a while and maybe trade off cars every once in a while.
It's illegal to have tinted windows in North Carolina.
Really? Any at all?
Yeah, none at all. You can't have. Matter of fact, the very first year we lived here and had the car inspection before I got
Yeah.
my tags, they
Yeah.
made me take the tint off my windows before they'd inspect it.
Wow.
I know, it's weird. Anyway,
What about cars like SUVs that have it comes from the factory that way?
I don't know. All I know is they made me take mine off first year we lived here.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Yeah. Well, they were kind of cracking down on too dark of tint for the driver, the front
Yeah,
seats.
yeah.
Because my daughter-in-law got pulled over on her way to bring our granddaughters over to our house one morning. She got pulled over for having too dark of tint on her
Wow,
front window.
wow,
And I was
wow.
like, and they bought the car that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. And she got a
Every
ticket. They
state.
wouldn't give her a warning on it. How about this one here? This would have come over from X, or formerly called Twitter. I'm no marriage expert, but have you tried putting on a sundress and telling him you don't trust the government? Putting on a sundress and telling him you don't trust the government? Uh,
I don't get
uh,
that.
I don't get that one. I'm no marriage expert, but have you tried putting on a sundress and telling him you don't trust the government?
Oh, she's telling him
Uh,
to put a sundress on and tell him, so that kind of changes things.
okay, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. Well, because it goes along with this next one.
Yeah.
Sir Isaac Newton discovers woke circa 1762.
Oh, the rainbow.
It's a prism. Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I
rainbow.
got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. All right.
Yeah,
Got to
whatever.
kind of think about that, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Woke is dead. I'm just gonna say woke is dead. All right. How about this one?
I don't know.
It's dying. It's
I
dying.
run into it quite often, so it must be on its deathbed, but it's still alive. I guarantee you that.
Well, they are taking out the rainbow crosswalks.
And with a lot of people complaining,
It comes with the 1%ers. Yeah,
there you go.
that have a loud voice that the media likes to amplify.
Yeah, I'm with
All
you.
right. Okay, how about this one? This is not a scam. DM me if you want to turn your $500 into my $500. And for those of you that don't know what DM is, direct message me.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
I can handle that. Okay. Yeah. Here's on the whatever throne that is. Were you a good dog? And were you a good cat? Or were you good? Oh yes. I sat and I begged. I was loyal. That was a good dog. Good dog. And were you a good cat?
Yeah.
You're sitting on my chair.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
Buddy.
yeah.
Don't get me started on cats. I'm having extreme problems with cats. And
no.
We have like 5 stray cats in our block, and they're all stray. Nobody claims them or anything. And I had to build a cage around our garden out there, and these cats have come and ripped open the cage in multiple places. Got to the place. Yeah, I bought a BB gun, dude. I bought me a BB gun, and they're a little afraid of me now, but they still come back. So it's like we put a lot of money into that sucker, and it's thinking, just don't get me started on cats. Sorry, move on, John.
Well, it's
shut up now.
Isn't it kind of like squirrels? Squirrels are they'll find a way in.
They run around the cage, but they never try to get in.
Wow.
It's the cats. They get in there and they eat our plants. Literally.
The cats eat the plants.
The cats are eating our plants. Yes, they are. Yes.
Oh. Wow. Never heard of that. Heard of raccoons.
Yeah, me neither, but they are. It's unreal. I've seen them do it. Of course, they got popped with a BB right after. But anyway.
Wow.
Cats, don't get me
That's
started.
all I can say.
Dude. Anyway.
Well, how about this one? For all of us husbands, it takes a brave man to admit when his wife is wrong.
Okay.
From there,
have a good divorce lawyer.
Okay. I'm gonna skip that one because it's lengthy. How about let's go to here. Just for the sake of time. How about this one? Constitutional Representative Republic. Chuck S. and the demos. We should call them demos. Yeah, democracy. It's not a constitutional representative republic. It's a democracy. How many times we heard that? These are the vandals.
Yeah. Oh my.
It's not a democracy.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's on his way out.
He is.
Schumer's on his way out.
So are the Democrats. I would be surprised if the Democrat Party can survive. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Without major changes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on, like we talked about earlier, it was they're on the losing end of every agenda. That's, the magician. They're going to be supporting drug cartels before we know it. Labor Day weekend, 2025, 58 people shot, 8 fatally. Welcome to Murder Capital, USA. Chicago is doing fine. We don't need Trump's help. That was from the mayor. It's true.
I know.
I'm not much for Trump sending in troops without an invitation, but sometimes you think, what about all these people? I mean, they're asking for President Trump to do something because the mayor won't, the governor won't. They won't do anything, and all these people are dying. I mean, it's just out of control.
But the majority, from what I understand, the majority of the people are positive towards this, and they're the ones that elect those officials that aren't wanting him to come in. And so it's like, to me, that says that they are asking Trump to come in. The mayor may not be, or the governor, and all those may not, but the people are. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch Gutfeld.
Yeah, no, he's got a really good take on things. Yeah, absolutely.
My gosh, my all-time favorite show.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will. Remember that show? What was it? What was that show? Imagine, if you will.
It's
I forget what it was.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone, yeah. Imagine, if you will, being so ignorant and dumb that you protest against safer streets and communities.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the Twilight Zone.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
How are we doing on time? We still have a couple minutes.
Kind of like came out of one Twilight Zone into another here.
Yeah. It's like, now it's in color.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The last 4 years was one episode of the Twilight Zone, and now we're in the next episode. The old one was in black and white, and this new one's in color. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, that might be a good show to revive.
Yeah. they have off and on. It might be a good one now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's because they revived Quantum Leap. Remember that show?
Yeah. It's on.
They've revived that one.
Yeah.
Very interesting. How about this one? Oh yeah. Okay. So we have all the mask Antifa type of people, and it says no troops in Chicago. Murder is a human right. Crime-free streets? No. Give us back our crime. Law and order is illegal. Street drugs equals life-saving care. Trumper, leave our crime alone. And Chicago crime pride. Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the paid goons. Like Maduro down there in Venezuela. When we talk about Tren de Agua or whatever it's called, Tren de la Agua. Anyway, yeah, those are his goons.
Yeah.
That gang. And they said they emptied out the prisons and sent them up this way. They are literally his goons. They actually help keep things in order for him or in Venezuela. So there's a lot to that. There's some analysis I've learned quite a bit about that. And yeah, so I mean the same thing with these people. They're paid rioters, paid to demonstrate, to go out there. None of it's grassroots. Yeah. That's out there, are those protests and stuff. Anybody that believes they're grassroots, you need to dig a little bit further. Stop believing the mainstream media. It's not grassroots. Those protests are paid demonstrators. Right. They advertise, hey, we need you can rent a mob. I mean, that's essentially what it is. They advertise.
Yeah, they do. They have a website, the whole thing. You can just go right on there. They know who's doing it. They know who's supporting it, and they know that they're not trying to hide it at all.
What I don't understand is
you can book a crowd right now if you wanted to.
Yeah. What I don't understand is why they don't just go and go after who's buying the crowds. But that's who they need to go after.
But it's not illegal, John. It
is when it becomes what do they call it? It's not a conspiracy, but really it is a conspiracy to ends up committing crime. I forget exactly what the word is, but where they can actually bring in like the RICO type of statutes, because it's an organized effort that creates crime. Right. That causes the vandalism, the brutality against ICE and all of that sort of stuff. When they do that, and they have a guy coming in and he's handing out, distributing gas masks, and someone had to pay for those, so it was pre-planned. These are the things that we're going to do. Pre-planned, hand out all these printed posters and weapons and sticks and bats and whatever they're using when they're handing out and pre-staging the bricks on pallets in the area of the planned protests. Yeah. Who's paying for that? That's the issue, because it's pre-planned violence.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying about that. So
yeah. The way I understand it, though, is the actual organization is not condoning doing that, but if the people that get together to do that protest and they bring all that stuff and do all that stuff, it's out of the organization's hands, so they don't actually are not accountable for that. That's the way I've understood it. And they're trying to be where they don't condone it, So anyway, who knows? I don't know enough about it. I just heard news reports on it, seen interviews with people. I've seen an interview with the guy that owns the website and owns the company and everything. So anyway, we're good.
Yeah, they can always rent a mob, and then whoever goes in to lead those mobs, that's the whole other part. But those are the under managers. They're not, they're just taking orders and passing it on to the crowd.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, it's time for Torah portion. And
all right, let me see. I'm not a Torah portion teacher, but I'll share some of my thoughts. This is a great portion. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay. Kitavo, Kaitavo, whatever you want to call it. So there's some massively good stuff in this. Some things that are used a lot within the messianic lifestyle. Let's put it this way. One of the biggest things that, let me switch glasses to the glasses that look just like my old glasses, but I can read text better. In 26:16, Deuteronomy 26:16, this whole discourse in here, I have taught a lot on that. I've used it a lot in teachings and to make points, and a lot of this discourse in here from Deuteronomy 26:16 through 27:8 is has a lot of places that, a lot of things in there that people just quote to make a point. I've even done it. We all do it with so many different things. I'm going to read through it and you'll remember it. Starting at 26:16. Today Adonai your God orders you to obey these laws and rulings, and I'm reading out of the Complete Jewish Bible by David Stern. Therefore you are to observe and obey them with all your heart and all your being. You are agreeing today that Adonai is your God and that you will follow his ways, observe his laws, mitzvot, and rulings, and do what he says. In turn, Adonai is agreeing today that you are his own unique treasure as he promised you, that you are to observe all his mitzvot, and that he will raise you high above all the nations he has made in praise, reputation, and glory, and that, as he said, you will be a holy people for Adonai your God. Deuteronomy 27:1. Then Moshe and all the leaders of Israel gave orders to the people. They said, observe all the mitzvot I'm giving you today. When you cross the Jordan to the land Adonai your God is giving you, you are to set up large stones, put your plaster on them, and after crossing over, write this Torah on them, every word, so that you can enter the land Adonai your God is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Adonai, the God of your ancestors, promised you. When you have crossed the Jordan, you are to set up these stones as I am ordering you today on Mount Ebal, and put plaster on them. There you are to erect an altar to Adonai your God, an altar made of stones. He's given you this declaration of matter of fact, man, if you just get up in the morning, first thing you do and just quote this, it's like I'm serving Adonai today. This is my God, and I accept everything that he's putting on me, and today I accept the Lord and the whole thing. And, we quote a lot of these things there, this is not too hard for you, and all of these different things. Well, as it goes on, and that's actually a part of being committed to this lifestyle that we live, the lifestyle that our God has set up for us to live, and we accept this. We accept the terms and the conditions of all these different things, and this is what we're going to do. And so it kind of is a salvation issue. It's, I don't like to go in there because then we'll be here for the next 3 hours. But as it goes on, this is where one of a couple of different places, especially in Deuteronomy, where you have what's called the cursings and the blessings and the cursings. Interesting, because it's listed cursings first and then the blessings. But we call it the blessings and the cursings. Well, if you've watched any of the shows that I've done for the past couple of months for John on here, you will have known that the first part of the show was about words and misused words, misdefined words, both secular and biblical. And it's just a massive amount of words and expressions that we use on a day-to-day basis that have alternate meanings. And when we use them and we don't use them in the right way, then communication just plummets. Especially when you have people from different cultures that have been taught different same words and expressions, but they mean other things. And so I've always had a problem with the blessings and the cursings, especially when we read them in this year, 2025. Because we're actually, we have our different meanings for these things. If you watch any horror movies, then you'll hear the word curse in there about 1 million times, because it's all about curses and bad things and things like that. Well, I've always said on the blessings and the cursings that I wish that I could find a translation that says, if you do these things, then all will go well with you. If you don't do these things, then all will not go well with you. To me, that seems to fit a whole lot better than the blessings and the cursings. So I've done this before, but I thought I'd kind of refresh my deal on this. So I looked up, I like Bible Hub. It's real good. And they give you about 30 different translations for every verse. I mean, if you look up a certain verse, like Deuteronomy 27:15, which is the first one, it starts a curse on anyone who makes a carved or metal image. So I looked it up, and then I kind of scroll. I love to do this. I'll scroll through all their different translations, and it's always curse, 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 curse. There's one that says, the person who makes a carved image, blah, 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 and sets it up in secret is cursed. So it's still cursed, and they're all cursed. So you go to the actual secular definition of the word curse. Let me read that. The actual secular definition is a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm on punishment on someone or something. A curse or blasphemous word or phrase used to express anger or other strong emotion. And those are nouns. The verb is to invoke or use a curse against, or use coarse or blasphemous language to express anger or other strong emotion. Now, that's a secular way to look at the word curse. And of course, we live in a secular society, so we have to deal with that when we use certain words, because not everybody we talk to all the time is biblical minded, is, that thinks along the way of Torah. Not everybody does. And a lot of people I talk to, they don't think that way. So looking at the biblical definition, I found that in the Bible, a curse is an authoritative declaration of evil, misfortune, or condemnation pronounced against someone or something, often by God or a divinely authorized person. I like that. A divinely authorized person. I think maybe I'm a divinely authorized person. And is understood to have inherent supernatural power to affect its will. I don't know that I've got inherent supernatural power, you know, but I do think I'm a divinely authorized person. I don't know that we can use it. Anyway, curses can be manifest as divine judgment for disobedience, as in the curse on the serpent and the ground in Genesis, or a generational impact of ancestral sin. Conversely, a curse can be a spoken wish for harm to befall someone, though this is only a part of its biblical meaning. And so you go to, again, Deuteronomy 27:15. I'm just using this as a general because every one of the other verses here in Deuteronomy 27 use the same curse. So I looked at, I went to the Hebrew of this, and it says the definition in Hebrew of cursed, something like that, arur, I think is what it is. There's only one word. It says to execrate. Not a word I use on a daily basis. It's not a word I don't think I've ever used until today when I uttered this word. So I looked that definition up, and execrate is feel or express great loathing for. Okay, so let's take that. I understand what loathing is. So if we go back to Deuteronomy 27 and read it with this definition, and I like doing this. I like looking things up and maybe changing the understanding by using a different word that helps me to understand what is actually being said. So if you go back to Deuteronomy 27:15 and read it, a great loathing on anyone who makes a carved or metal image, a great loathing on anyone who dishonors his father or mother, a great loathing on anyone who moves his neighbor's boundary marker. Now, to me, that kind of helps me to translate that and brings in a better understanding of what I personally think should be translated to. So, once again, my little topic here for this week on Kitabo is all about using the right words to understand what it is the point of Torah is trying to get across. So there you go. What do you think of that? Does that work for you, John?
It does. It does. And you know, it's kind of interesting where I was talking about this on Shabbat about, because you have this part of the Torah portion, and you have this idea of the blessings and the curses, and of all different things. Did you ever think that there's a parallel to what happened at Mount Sinai as to what's going on here at Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim? Did you ever think about that?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Did I ever
Yeah.
what?
You ever think that there might be a parallel of what happened at Mount Sinai in Exodus chapter 19 and 20 as to what was going on here in Deuteronomy, where they're supposed to pronounce the curses on Mount Ebal and the blessings on Mount Gerizim?
No, I don't believe I've ever thought about that.
So one of the things that I've been kind of chewing on, it has to do with Mount Sinai is actually two mountains. That is because we have Mount Sinai and Mount Horeb. They're both two mountains together, and then here we have another parallel. We have two different mountains, Mount Gerizim, Mount Ebal.
That's right.
And and it's very important even to understand, like Mount Gerizim, where they would pronounce the blessings, and then on Mount Ebal they would pronounce the curses. But you have two mountains. Well, what was it that was established on the first two mountains, Mount Sinai and Mount Horeb? And that was, it was covered, one by a cloud, which is like the covering. It's like and you have the two mountains that are like pillars. So you have the pillars and the mountain, the covering of the mountain. But before the day arrived, Moses was told and said, put a boundary, and that don't let anybody go up the mountain, or they will die. In fact, he even set up archers, so everybody was getting close to the boundaries, that they would be shot, so that they would not go in. And this was related to the ancient Middle Eastern suzerain and vassal type treaties. So whenever they would have a treaty, they always have in a treaty they'd have a preamble, then they'd have the kind of the body. They would talk about, this is the sovereign, the suzerain, the predominant nation, the one that's controlling, would come in and say, look, we're a great nation, and we're doing all these great things for you, and these are the more great things we're going to do for you. Therefore, you owe us to be subservient to us. But because of this, we're going to stretch our boundaries around you, and we're going to be your protection. So what was happening is, in the language that these people would have understood, in the nation, in the language of these contracts of the nations, that the king, the suzerain, the king of the universe, was coming down to a nation of people that were not yet his people.
Of people, right?
Right.
Right.
They were a people, but they weren't
not his people.
an organized nation. And so what did he have to say? We're gonna set up this contract, this treaty, but in the protocols of setting up a treaty, there's a perimeter set up, and nobody can cross that perimeter lest they die until the treaty is signed. And the emissary from both would meet together at the prescribed place, and they would come to an agreement on the treaty, and then it would be delivered to the people, and then the people would agree to it, and so a covenant would be made, and that covenant would be made with the splitting of an animal, like when we see with Abraham and the splitting of the animals, the dividing of the animal. A covenant was made. It's a blood covenant. And so here we have on this mountain, two mountains, two pillars, and a covenant that's made between Yahweh and the people. And they said, everything that he says to do, we will do. Even when they said, we don't want to hear any more, Moses, you go find out, and then we'll come back and tell us, and we agree to it. And then in Exodus chapter 24, they said, everything that he said, we will do. And then they had a covenant meal, and Moses sprinkled blood on the people. And so we have this blood covenant that was made at the mountain. It was a treaty that was done between the suzerain um, and the vassals, and where they said, yes, we accept these. And as a result, then we get to step into the blessing and the curses. The blessings of the kingdom will come upon us. And yet, if we don't do what the treaty says, then let the curses come upon us. And so what's happening in Deuteronomy here is you have two mountains, a mountain that is split. It's and it's called Shechem. We have two shoulders, but two mountains, two pillars, and one would pronounce the blessing, one pronounce the curses. This is really taking us back to the originating covenant that was made, and these people are now saying, we agree, now that we've come to the land, we agree to the terms of the covenant, that where the blood was sprinkled on us before, of course it was the fathers, but it was sprinkled on us before. Now we agree to accept the terms of this covenant, that when we go in, then your protection will be on us, that these blessings will be on us, that everything that we do, we will guard and protect this covenant, and we will guard and protect this land, and we will do in order, and then therefore we can keep the land, and we'll get the blessing of the land, and we'll get the produce of the land, and we'll get the everything that's attached to it, and we'll get the protection. Our borders will be protected. And that even if we have to go out to war, as last week's Torah portion was about, that literally when you look at the grammatical sentencing of when you go to war, it literally means when I go out, you go out. So when Yahweh, it's not saying that Israel initiates the war. When Yahweh goes to war against the enemy, then you go out to war with the enemy, and then your victory is secured. But if you choose not to, if you choose to disobey, then Yahweh does go out before us, and the enemies won't be subdued. And we see that within the history of Israel. So I think it's very interesting that here we have two mountains prescribed. We have the details now of this treaty that's unfolded before us, that really originated in Exodus chapter 19 and 20 through 24. And now we say, okay, I've given you the terms of it. And in these last 40 years, you are to learn how to live this out. And yeah, there's been hiccups along the way. Now, here are the benefits of that treaty. And here are what happens when you don't follow the treaty, and these things will come upon you. So here's why this is a big deal. And it was cut by blood. Now we're seeing the people entering into the last portions of it, because they're about ready to enter into the land. I thought that was kind of a very, as I was studying it out over this last week and looking at all these different elements, it's like, wow, isn't it interesting how Yahweh just kind of pours it, opens it out, and layers it out. And so in language, in treaty language that the people are familiar with.
Right. I agree. I think you should have done the first part and then let me come in and say, okay, that's exactly how it went there. Now, applying it today, I'm more of I look at it, whenever I'm reading Torah or the Brit Hadashah or anything, my brain is always going to, how do I apply that today? Because I know every word in my Bible has got something that is the Lord is using to tell me how to live his life today, because I am not just a people, I am his people. And this is
verse 18.
This is how you live as his people. And so anyway, I did it back. Well, we did it backwards. I think you gave the background and I gave the foreground.
Well, no, you launched me into these thoughts, and I appreciate that. And
I like it.
And what you're kind of wrapping up what you're talking about as well is it's his people. It's that it is like verse 18 in chapter 26 says, and Yahweh has today declared you to be his people, a
Right.
treasured possession as he promised to you,
Right.
and that you should keep all his commandments. And when I'm looking at it in terms of this idea of this hugely um, what's the right word, that he is this benefactor of a king, this one who is like
Right.
just ready to pour out everything of his great love and compassion upon these people, and that they are treasured above all of the nations of the world. I mean, the weightiness of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really that love language of saying, I want you to succeed, and if you really love me, you'll keep my commandments. I, because here's my heart to you, to keep you free from all these evil things that can come upon you. Here's my heart. And yeah, and that's really where it kind of wraps it all up. But he put it in a treaty form. I mean, how much more powerful the language that anybody that would come and read this, later on, that was of that culture of that day, like say there was an outsider that would come around and say, um, I get it. He really is, the king of the universe. And this really is his
Right.
nation. And this treaty cannot be broken. So it is it's
Amazing.
really, yeah, really, really. And now we have the weightiness of it. And someone had brought up in our Torah study on Shabbat, and just talking about how the it wasn't, I don't know if it was a Torah study, it was in between that in our service, or it was during, maybe no, it was during a time of we had a time of testimonies and sharing uh, during our service. And one person was talking about, you know, there's so many people that, they think all you have to do is believe in Jesus, right? Just believe in Jesus and you're okay.
Right.
But I think and they were relating to what Monty Judah was talking about, in terms of it's more, you've got to know Jesus. You got to know who he is, his character, what he represents, um, what he said, and what he meant, what he said, and even this cultural background and this historical connections and everything about him, in order to know him, in order to be his follower, to be his disciple, to be a believer, is not just, getting the Jesus piece. I prayed this prayer and now I'm good, you know.
Yeah,
And
you and I know the background. You and I know uh, from beginning to end how it all worked, why it all came together, who Yeshua was, and where he came from, why he was here, what the whole thing is about. But not everybody does. It's like how many people out there are just starting at Matthew. They come in and they say this little prayer, and now everything they're taught is from Matthew on.
yeah.
And that doesn't tell you, even reading the genealogies doesn't tell you who he was, just
Mm-hmm.
where he came from. Why was he here? Why did he have to go through all those things that he went through? All right. I mean, if you haven't read Leviticus yet, you don't have a clue
Yeah.
why Yeshua was even walking on the earth. And that's has always been my red flag. Back when I was a Christian, it's like, why? Why? I get it. And I kind of believe, but I don't have a thing called blind faith. I
Mm-hmm.
can't muster blind faith up. I have to know why.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's always my deal. So
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is he provides everything we need, so that it's not just blind
why?
faith.
Why does he provide it? You
Right.
know, why?
studying out the Second Temple writings and stuff, Second Temple period writings, and some of the belief systems of like the sect of the people that were the priesthood class that was down in Qumran. It's amazing when you start reading then the New Testament again and what the disciples, the apostles wrote, and you go, oh my goodness, none of this information in the New Testament is new.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just this continuation of everything that was happening before, and it's just amazing that how powerful that is.
Yeah.
So
and I know we got to go. Have you seen my other show, Peter Kamor?
No, I haven't yet.
I have a show on Tuesday called Peter Kamor, and it's me and a guy by the name of Yossi, who is an Orthodox Jew, and he has been commissioned by the Sanhedrin to go out and balance out Messianics, Christians, all kinds of things. I've been doing this show for about 3 months, and I have never had more understanding about who I am with God than I have in these past 3 months going through. And I've been doing this 26 years, going on 27 years. And I've never had more understanding. So anybody out there that is looking for better, more balanced understanding, check out the Peter Kamor Show. It's on Tuesdays. You can look at the on demand and watch it. Every show will just blow you away. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. You got to go
Very
over.
cool.
I moved your transition stuff down to the bottom there. I hope you.
Oh, good. I was looking for it.
Yeah, I know. I trying to make it easier on you since everything's kind of changed since you've been gone.
Okay.
You find it very bottom right hand corner. I'll play it.
I got it. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Torah,